Hello and welcome to the Lion's Den with Stephen Carr. Today's topic is the populist red wave in Pennsylvania 2026. Why do I say that? Because Pennsylvania has had a huge surge in Republican voter turnout, but yet we still cannot get past 10.65 on York County voter turnout percentage in municipal election. We are going to be talking about the municipal election. We're going to be talking about voting no for judges, and we are going to be talking about Shapiro and Stacey Garrity and the 2026 upcoming election. First, I'm going to play this video of Josh Shapiro downplaying the sexual harassment case, why he has a woman problem. We're talking about that as well. So here is the opening. Hold on. Okay, so here's the opening.
What do you have to say about the comments from President Pro Tem Kim Ward and a number of other
Republicans? Oh, you can't see it. What's up?
What do you
Yeah.
What do you have to say about the comments from President Pro Tem Kim Ward and a number of other Republican women senators who have questioned why your former legislative secretary stayed on as long as she did?
Yeah, look, first off, I'd just say consider the source when it comes to the President Pro Tem.
What do you have to say about the comments from President Pro Tem Kim Ward and a number of other Republican women senators who have questioned why your former legislative secretary stayed on as long as she did?
Yeah, look, first off, I'd just say consider the source when it comes to the President Pro Tem.
When it comes to the Senate Pro Tem Kim Ward, Josh Shapiro has a woman problem, and it's going to be his biggest weakness come 2026 when he faces Stacey Garrity as a challenger for the 2026 election. Why do I say that it's going to be a biggest challenge? Because check this out. Check this out right here. So, popular vote 3,542, 3,542,542 popular votes, percentage 51.91%. In the 2024 election, this is what it looks like. She could beat Josh Shapiro's ass any given day when she steps up, when she runs in 2026, in 27-26, compared to Doug Mastriano. And then we can go back, if you'd like to. That was just 2024. Going back to 2020 election, look, she even beat it here in the Church of Sully in it special election. As you can see, she had 3 million again in this election and got 48.68% of the vote, and she hardly wasn't even known. And then you can go down here. Then you can go to these are county results. You can go to congressional results. As you can see, precinct results. She practically took over in a landslide in 2020 all. And then you can go down to here as well, and you can see that she beat in 2020. Now, if you go down to if you go back to 2024 presidential results, and you can see it by county here. County by county. I don't think you can see anymore like it used to show you. I guess you can't. But still, as you can see. Now I'm going to play for you another video. Oh, I was still showing. Play for you another video of this so you can see what I'm talking about. Here on real. Who knows me to play it?
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Red Eagle Politics. Make sure you guys like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So we've talked about this quite a bit, but this is yet another Pennsylvania video, and we'll get into some new developments about 2026 in Pennsylvania. So it's not just like we're beating the same topic to death, but you can't ignore it. It's like when you see something so monumental, a monumental shift that just keeps on going, you really can't ignore it after a certain point. And right now, we're seeing the shift in Pennsylvania continue. In November of 2016, when Donald Trump narrowly won the state in somewhat of an upset, according to a lot of the pundits who were not paying exactly enough attention, Democrats had a lead of 916,000 registered voters in the state on the Republicans. And if you look at November of 2018, Democrats were barely able to stop some of the bleeding because Republicans in those 2 years only were able to gain 76,000. Their lead was cut to 840,000. And then the Democrat lead in 2020 was still a relatively strong 686,000 voters. And in 2022, when they had a good year, it was still 550,000 voters. But the lead since then has completely crumbled. It's crumbled since then almost as much as it did in the 6 years prior. And we're not even 3 years since that date. But in November of 2024, the lead was cut to 281,000 when Trump won the state by 1.7 percentage points, a very big victory in Pennsylvania for him. Won it by 120,000 votes, was crucial to his victory. And in August of 2025, which is today, technically yesterday's when the update came out, the Democrat lead in total was just 174,000 votes, but the active registration, which is kind of a leading indicator and shows where the total registration is going to go, has been cut to 52,000 voters, and it's on track to flip by the end of 2025, and total is on track to flip by the midterms. And this is huge because Republicans added 6,200 on net in the past week. And keep in mind, the active voter registration was 131,000 voters in the Democrat column back in December. Their total lead was almost 1 million in 2016. It was over 1 million in 2012. Now it's just 52,939. And it gets us asking, can Republicans have a really good showing in the midterms if these trends are any indication? Because if you're still adding voters to your column, you'd have to believe that the state is not really showcasing a ridiculous amount of energy for the Democrats. And you do have a popular Democrat governor that is running for re-election. And by popular, I mean his approval rating tends to be in the mid to high 50s on a given day, which is pretty good. But Republicans may have found a challenger, maybe not to go out there and establish themselves as the favorites in this race, but to possibly give him a run for his money and weaken his 2028 chances in the process, while at the same time making sure that they will save House races down ballot that could be crucial in their quest to keep their majority, keep their trifecta in 2026. We're going to dive into it, but really quickly, guys, I've got to tell you guys about our friends over at Allegiance Gold, because the media has been obsessing over Trump's tariffs, but something really big is brewing. No, just in the first quarter, the most powerful financial allegiancegold.com before another surge. The week before was pretty much stagnant, but after this week, that is a massive surge in the right direction for the Republicans. But on top of it, you have a candidate that possibly could be announcing the run that they may take for governor, and that is none other than Treasurer of Pennsylvania, Stacey Garrity. Stacey Garrity is somebody who is a solid MAGA type of Republican, but also has a lot of electoral success and likability in the state of Pennsylvania. She actually outperformed Donald Trump by a non-insignificant margin in 2024. She won by over 6 percentage points. And that doesn't mean she's going to win the governor's race for sure. Statewide performances for lower offices, they don't always have a one-to-one, but she overperformed in 2020, overperformed in 2024. And there's a very good chance that she could make the governor's race competitive against Josh Shapiro. I'm not saying she's going to win, because if you are an incumbent governor who has a decent approval rating, you usually end up getting by. Sometimes it's, a little bit of a scare. And if she gives him a little bit of a scare, it's going to weaken his 2028 chances in the primary significantly, because you have a wing of the Democrats who think he's strong. I think he's overrated, but I think he's stronger than like an AOC, possibly a Gavin Newsom. I don't think he'd even be guaranteed to win Pennsylvania if he is going to be their nominee. But at the same time, it would definitely give them a boost in a state that is a must-win state for them if he is their nominee for sure, I would have to imagine. But it's like you got to weaken the guy if you're the Republicans and you want to make sure that you can increase your chances for victory in 2028. I still think that he's overhyped. I don't think he'd get through a primary. He's never really been attacked. But still, the number one way to weaken him is to make sure that he does not win by 15 points again. In fact, make him win by single digits, if not under 5. And the only candidate that is really viable for the Republicans that seems to want to run that can do that is none other than Stacey Garrity. She released an ad. We're not going to play it in full, but it's good messaging. Talks about Shapiro not being good for the economy, because this type of stuff doesn't get out there much. 5th highest tax burden in the country, higher energy bills, highest, grocery price hikes. You could try to put that nationally, but if you have the highest surge in and of itself in the nation, that's definitely a problem that could be on the state, voters concerned, et cetera, talking about how he's not some man of the people that he tries to portray himself as. He's spending all this money, millions of dollars on these luxurious trips, and he's trying to go national. Just a brutal ad in a way, because of how it's attacking him and showing him with Biden, showing him on these talk shows. This is an advertisement. We didn't even see any advertisements for Doug Mastriano, by the way, last time around, because I really feel like that was one of the big reasons why he underperformed as much as he did. Part of it is the fact that he had policy baggage, previous takes on abortion that are unpopular in Pennsylvania. Of course, Garrity doesn't seem to have that, but on top of it, it's he never really had the money to set the narrative. He was outspent 40-1. Garrity may get outspent, but she's not going to be outspent 40-1, and she is going to go out there and give Shapiro a run for his money. I'm not saying he's going to go out there and lose. It's very tough. If that happens, that would just speak volumes to the monumental shift in Pennsylvania that we're seeing, because Shapiro does have a decent amount of popularity. But if he's weakened, that means that A, she weakens his 2028 hopes, B, saves down ballot offices, and C, she will raise her profile to run for Senate in 2028, where I think she probably would have a very good chance at defeating John Fetterman. I don't know if he's even going to go for another term. He's on track to lose a primary. That's a Senate race that you'd like to get. If she, falls short barely to Shapiro, she's not going to be seen as weak electorally. She's still going to be a statewide official. You don't lose anything by running her. In fact, you may gain a lot, because I'm not saying that she's going to go out there and win the state like Trump did against Shapiro in a midterm, especially a midterm where you have a Republican president in the White House. But is she going to lose by 15 points like Doug Mastriano? No. The margin may look similar to the Fetterman-Oz race, but that would be huge, because that would be at the top of the ticket. And what that would do is it means that the House races are downstream from that. You look at the House just in Pennsylvania, the down ballot effects from Shapiro, what they were able to do. You saw Matt Cartwright hold on. You saw Susan Wild hold on. Obviously, both of those races have flipped since then. But the 7th district, I think, would have a shot to flip back. The 10th district, because of how it's trending, would have a shot to flip blue. But in this case, in Pennsylvania, we're talking about the House. Those are two very important races. And if you're able to go out there just because of this and hold on to both of those races, it would be worth it, because already you're at 210. You could talk about the redistricting in Ohio. That would probably get Republicans to 212. The 5 seats in Texas get them to 217. They could win one of those Arizona seats, which I think they're going to win both, and they would have the House at that point. So this is why it is just crucial for Republicans to perform well in Pennsylvania, respectably in Pennsylvania. And if they're able to do that, then it's going to really weaken Democrats in Pennsylvania, including Josh Shapiro and his future presidential aspirations. Because if he goes out there and he wins by like 20 points, Democrats are going to be hyping him up. We kind of saw the same thing with Ron DeSantis. Of course, Ron DeSantis was a bust on the national stage on the Republican side. We understand that. Shapiro very well could be a bust on the Democrat side, but it's going to bury him and bury his 2028 hopes if he's unable to really have a commanding 2026 victory. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Like this video down below, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Red Eagle out.
Well, there you have it. We could win back the House. We could win back the Senate. We could win back the governor's mansion in 2026 with this huge red wave populist movement going on in Pennsylvania, guys. And it's all up to you. I've been saying it for the past months that we need to get out and vote. We need to vote early in person, vote early in person, and vote in at your polling place come next spring and November 4th, especially November 4th, because November 4th we have a huge chance to stop gerrymandering, to kick out corrupt criminal judges that have overturned sexual predator convictions in Commonwealth court cases and Commonwealth court cases, as I'll bring it up to you here in a minute. Commonwealth court cases, and these are the 5 judges that you are voting no on. No, 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 no. All corrupt criminal judges who enjoy pensions on taxpayer dollars. The longer they stay in office, they shredded your election integrity. They voted to extend mail-in ballots 3 days past election day on 2020. Voted to kick off the Green Party off the ballot and said goodbye to democracy in 2020, voted to shut down your schools and churches and businesses, and picked winners and losers for essential businesses to stay open. They are corrupt as can be, guys. I'm going to show you all that they did here in a minute. Bingo. The PA Supreme Court currently composed of 5 Democrats and 2 Republicans. We can change that this fall. Three Democrat Supreme Court justices are up for a 10-year retention vote. Justice Christine Donahue, Justice Kevin Doherty, Justice David West. These judges violated your constitutional freedoms, locked down schools, churches, and businesses during COVID, picked winners and losers for essential PA businesses, forced unconstitutional orders without due process, shredded election integrity, twisted laws, enabled unfair redistricting, allowed mail-in ballot returns 3 days late in 2020, and removed the Green Party from the ballot in 2020, to overturn convictions of sexual predators in Commonwealth court cases below. And all 4 of these enjoys lifetime catalytic pension plans at taxpayer expense. The longer in office, the larger the pension grows. Why is it so important to vote these out? Because these are the judges that took away your freedoms, that took away your liberties, that made your kids wear masks during school, that shut down your schools, made your schools go virtual, made your churches go virtual, took away your religious freedom, and so forth. We need to continue to go out and vote November 4th and to kick these criminal, corrupt judges off the bench and vacate them so we can have a red majority in the Supreme Court in 2027 when we vote for a special election to vote them in right before the 2028 presidential election. And so that is this November. We also got to have a 40 to 50% voter turnout statewide to get in our statewide judges, and even to kick these judges off the bench and vacate them out in 2025 coming up. And so, like I said, we need to deconstruct the administrative state. We need to deconstruct the courts, guys. These criminal, corrupt judges who have been in longer than they need to, and they're asking the people if they can serve again when they did a horrible job. And we need to get out and vote in every single election coming up, because we have a huge chance of winning going forward if we get Stacey Garrity in, and we can gain back the houses as the guy on the Red Eagle Project showed you, and we can continue to go forward instead of regress in our local government, and we can gain back majority in the House and so forth. What else can I show you? But we need to continue to go out and vote. Like I said, the other thing that is up for election in 2026 are these guys. Pennsylvania, Greg Rothman, State Chairman, and Indy Riley, National Committeeman, and Christine Toretti. These 2 all voted for Ronna McDaniel in the RNC election by proxy ballot. These are the guys you don't want to vote in, even though you get to decide who they vote. You get to decide if you want them in or vote them out, or somebody else, do a write-in or whatever. If there's somebody else on the ballot for these people. And so that is what I am doing. And I am going. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is, even know it's late, but it's all worth the mention, is that we need to continue. Republicans need to continue to run for offices, whether it is local office or state office or federal office. Republicans need to continue to office. More importantly, they need to start running for judge of elections. If you don't run for if Republicans start running for judge of elections, Democrats seem to be willing to do it anyway. More Democrats seem to run for judge of elections anyway. So we need to continue to do that. We need to cycle through Republicans and conservatives and get on the ballot and so forth. The other thing is that we can't allow Doug Mastriano to get on to run, because he is just the kiss of death. He left. He lost with 14 points. If Doug Mastriano runs, we go back to having another lame duck session in the state house and lose majority. Whoever's on top of that ticket and wins the primary and goes on to the general election matters. It matters all the way down ballot to the top of the ballot in 2026. Same thing with local grassroots. We got school board members running, including myself. We got county clerks and quarters and county DAs running in November 4th, 2025. Like I said, we need to get out and vote in every single election and stay vigilant and stay active. Action, guys. Every single election, go out and vote. 10.65% here in York County is pathetic. It's egregious. It's sickening. We need to continue to fight. We can't win in York County with a 10.65 point average percentage in a general election, or else we lose everything. That's including we lose the vacant seat as well. So we need to continue to do that. The other thing we need to do, and the best way to get involved in this is by becoming a precinct committeeman. Why become a precinct committeeman? Because precinct committeemen are the Republican Party. No precinct committeeman, no Republican Party. I'm going to show you why. It's also the most powerful office in the country as well. So here you go. Precinct committeeman. This is the this is precinct committeeman powers versus the voters. Precinct committeemen elect all party chairs directly or electors of. Yes. Voters, no. Elect electors of state convention delegates. Yeah. Precinct committeemen, yes. Voters, no. Electors of state parties, 3 RNC members, yes. Voters, no. Get access to parties, get out the vote software, yes. Precinct committeemen, yes. Voters, no. Elect those who write party platform, yes. Voters, no. This is the power of the precinct committeemen. Precinct committeemen are the party. Voters are only voters. This is how the process works. You guys, registered Republican voters, elect precinct committeemen, and then precinct committeemen elect and vote on legislative district committee officers, county committee officers, state committeemen, and they vote on state chair, and then state committee women, state convention delegates, and national committeemen and national committee women, national convention delegates. Why is this so important? Because this right here. Bingo. Oh, sorry. Bingo. Every Republican Party precinct committeeman slot filled by a volunteer America Firster. Much greater turnouts of America First voters. Plus primary general election and America First winners. America First state legislators and governors. The goal is hand counted paper ballots, no machines, mailed ballots only for military and invalids, small precincts, and one-day election. Who do we fill these seats with? We fill them with America First National Defense, Second Amendment supporters, anti-mandatory vaccinations, build the wall, anti-mask, America First audits, and hand-counting paper ballots, elect better school boards, America First foreign policy, right to light, tax enough already, unite in local Republican Party committees to get out the vote for the best conservative primary election candidates so they win. What's the problem? Problem is this. In 2008, well over half of the Republican Party's local committee volunteer voting member slots were vacant. And from 2010 to 2022, whose fault is it? It's people like yours fault. It's people that need to get involved. If you're angry enough to complain on Facebook, to complain on Twitter, to complain on Truth, to complain on Getter, to complain to your friends, get involved. Action, action, action. Walk the talk, not talk the talk. This is the problem. County party strength has strength ideologically split, no message, no ground game GOTV capability, 200,000 precinct committeeman seats. What's the solution, you may ask? Oops. The solution is this. This is what it could look like. 100% strength, 100% strength, and 75% conservative, 400,000 precinct committee seats filled. We need to outnumber the conservatives outnumber the moderates with the conservatives. This is what, and then you got this graph. This is what it looks like now, a Republican Party at war with itself that has strength. 100,000 Trump PCs to 100,000 vacant seats, 100,000 others. This is what we could look like. A unified Republican Party with 75% Trump majority and at full strength. From national committees to state committees to county committees, local committees to 3,000 Trump PCs, 100,000 others. Then you got this. Conservatives could be politically powerful if they united and organized inside the Republican Party committee seats where they live to fill the 200,000 vacant Republican Party precinct committee seat slots in their own voting precincts. That's half of the number of 400,000 slots to take over the control of the party from the establishment. Fake Republican do-nothing imposters running it now. Will you step up and act? Now I wanted to show you something else. I wanted to show you, because I don't have it. Okay, so I'll tell you what's in there. I didn't save it. Oh, actually, maybe this is it. Then you got this from Josh Shapiro. This is from Josh Shapiro and his union people. Make no mistake, if Stacey Garrity chooses to run for governor against our friend and champion of working women and men, Governor Josh Shapiro, says, our friend and champion of working women and men, Governor Josh Shapiro, the full force of our members and resources will be deployed to defeat her efforts. While Governor Shapiro spends every day championing working families, growing infrastructure and investment in expanding apprenticeship opportunities and building on our energy independence, Stacey kowtows to Trump, publicly championing the destructive federal budget bill that decimated energy projects that were lifetime for thousands of trades jobs across the Commonwealth. Clearly,